Hey everyone, this is PrinceBrightstar, and welcome back, hopefully to the finale of the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker MSQ. It's going to be interesting today, seeing exactly what happens here. I'm hoping it's the end, otherwise we're going to be going into tomorrow, and at that point I am back at work, plus also some other stuff going on tomorrow, so... but hopefully that's not going to come to pass. Hopefully we're just going to be good to go here. And yeah, let's go ahead and head out of here. And yeah, Lord Samuel, I saw what you were saying in Discord. Alright, so we have to... Let's see, we have to check in... Yeah, I thought... Oh, it's with Cryo we have to check in with here. Okay. And also, last night, I did a little bit of extra grinding on EXP, just enough that we're not going to run into the same thing that happened last night, where I got EXP, or rather level locked. So this will be enough so that just clearing one quest will push me to level 90. Yeah, don't worry about that, Lord Samuel, don't worry. Prince, I trust you had a good rest? An envoy of Master Fortunals arrived not long ago with a message. The Loporrits have determined Meteion's location. Alright, that's some good news then. We've been asked to gather at the Rostra. I'll meet you there, along with the others. Alright, so, to the Rostra. Oh, that's just an Ethernet shard away. Here we go. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know, the Loporrits have deduced the whereabouts of Meteion by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Hydaelyn herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. A veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule, but the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess aether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your aether burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Bear in mind, this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Loporrits' proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon, and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Hydaelyn believed you possessed of the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Hydaelyn's own making. Therefore, if in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. This is why we have chosen to place our faith in Hydaelyn. In you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of all the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glaxes. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people do not protest. Quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Loporrits too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when we said we were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetherius and its people? If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life. An otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Hydaelyn chose us to lead the way to Meteion. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Aetherius until you brought us here, Urianger. And now we're enamored with this place. So, what choice do we have but to save it? Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions, so I must ask, are you certain you wish to do this? We'll avert the final days, whatever it takes. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision, and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the, Hyper Hopper. The Loporrits will coordinate with the Ilsabard contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. It would seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare. Shall we? Alright, let's get out of here. Oh, other side. Oh, and also we have a lookout point in here. Or, no, I think I already picked this one up, maybe. Oh, no, maybe I didn't. There it goes. And yeah, that scene with Puddingway was definitely very funny. Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. Nevertheless, Hydaelyn deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteion as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and to Taru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We'll be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the dynamics for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest, and make the most of the time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long, I started to worry. What did they have to say? We got a ship? The edge of creation, I see. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return, and you will return. Actually, Prince, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Come with me to Agora. I have something to show you. I don't know. Maybe. I guess we'll see. Welcome, Prince, to Taru's boutique. Really? You opened a store? I've always done my best to provide the Scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with this unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. And so, after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But then inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavnarian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Sharlayan. Of course, I would never charge you for any of our works. Perish the thought. I don't see Geralt here, but I guess we'll see in a moment. Varsaruda, how are things coming along? Everything is in order, Mistress Tataru. We'll be ready to open shortly. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here a moment longer? Alright. The following events cannot be skipped, alright? Ah, I did not expect to find you here. I imagine Nidana would also wish to offer her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the Aether Burner. This simulacrum, too, will stay in Sharlayan, while I oversee matters in Radzat-Han. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Barshan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the boutique. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with newfound purpose, and a means by which to support themselves in these troubled times. What's more, when they at last return home to Razat Han, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well. Believe you me, your artisans have taught me so much about Thavnarian craftsmanship. Their resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mr. Tataru. Before coming here, I heard word of the Forum's decision, of what will soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called this star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. Your journey unto the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail, and restore peace and tranquility to this star. I worry your faith in me may be misplaced. Perish the thought. You are our salvation and our deliverance. My father would not have relinquished his scales otherwise. Just remember, I'm not the only one that's doing this. I've got the rest of the Scions, and I can't do it without them. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of this star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. And then, of course, there are the Loporits that are going to be even piloting the vessel in the first place. I'm basically taking care of the last 1% of the journey, and that's it. So many other things need to go right. Like a sudden crash of the ship onto the wrong planet or something. Where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? And Manalaine. Prince, old boy, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? I had been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yes, something with a little more flair, perhaps, befitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said remnants, so long as my confinement continues indefinitely. The young Lord Fortomps insists that, so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, I must abide here in Sharlayan. Thus do I toil through, though every fiber of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sicard to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he was the one granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead of his otherwise welcome absence. Now burdened with extra busy work, and without honor here, there is no one to prepare my meals. Yeah, man, you gotta grow up at this point. Learn to cook. I came here in the hopes of finding a new cafe, perhaps. Alas, the Sharlayan delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect. Oh, okay. Yeah, Madeline, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to fend for yourself. Either you're gonna have to luck into finding the place that actually tastes good, or you're gonna have to learn to cook for yourself. Seriously, it's not that hard. Have you tried Archon Loaf? You can find it in all the shops. Archon Loaf? It sounds sophisticated like me. I thank you for the suggestion. With a full belly, I dare say I can endure this purgatory, if only a while longer. Ta-ta, old boy. Enjoy your fishy bread! Alright, who else are we gonna have walk by? Well, well, is that Prince and Tataru I spy? Ah, Hancock, how are you doing? Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan. After all, any expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Were it not, I will return straightways to Kugane once I have finished. Of course she would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the industrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the travails of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence they will succeed, and I would make myself and my business ready for their return. If you believe in them so devoutly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru, fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return, I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bokairo Inn. Accommodations are quite cozy, given the reputation of said establishment, but the East Altenar Trading Company would be honored to foot the bill. Yeah, I don't think we want to owe any debts to this guy. I appreciate the gesture, but no thank you. A pity. I'm rather fond of the place myself. Nevertheless, I have no doubt we will find another time and cause for celebration soon enough. But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until we next meet again. I would say, if anything, for a feast, I would probably want to have it in Ishgard. So, how many more? Ah, Prince, decided to spend your time at the markets, did you? Ah. Tataru. Biggs, Wedge. I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace? Aye, it does indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Sharlayan and Razat Han has been a rewarding experience. And that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loporrits. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. And you'll never guess who paid us a visit before we came to Charlian. Alpha. I think he sensed the coming danger and returned to check on us. I saw him in that crowd there, along with Omega. Or rather, the Omega Mammoth, I guess. He was always one to turn up in a time of need. And I suppose that's why he decided to join us here in Charlian. Good thing, too. I don't know how he does it, but he has a knack for brightening your day just by being there. It's still hard to believe we have the means to send you off into the great expanse, though. To the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you and the Scions are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I'd missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks. An awful lot of work, to be fair, and the privilege of being worked like a cart chocobo. There is that, too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Prince. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. And one filled with even more adventure. Oh yeah, definitely the Taskmaster. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tataru. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to gather before we return. Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Right. I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Varsaruda from Palaka's stand. Haven't we met before? Ah, yes. It was you who helped us at Perusa, and again when crossing the ice fields, was it not? I doubt we exchanged little more than glances then, but it is kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mistress Tataru, I and many of my friends have found gainful employment in this foreign land. It is only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times, we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavnir, but we are here today and are glad to have contributed to the cause. And contribute they did by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and soul into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's Ruby Bazaar. We were always fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Grahatia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch over with bated breath as you persevered time and again. For all the joy we shared, There's been much sorrow as well, but I've long since learned you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return. Alright, let's find out what these new garments are. In addition to your new ensemble, we have raiments and weaponry for every need. So please, feel free to browse our stock. You may now obtain job-specific gear from Basurukta. The weapons and gears obtained can be equipped at level 89. However, all item stats will be subject to item level sync. Upon reaching level 90 with the corresponding job, these items will no longer be synced. Furthermore, the gear can be dyed upon completion of the role quests associated with said job. And that is level 90. So let's grab our new set. So, Lightbringer. Hero Shield. Paladin Helmet. I'm not going to grab anything that I don't have leveled up yet. That would just waste space in my inventory. There we go. That's all that, and now... it's just a set. I still need better rings and such. But this at least should give me a bit of a boost. 62,120 goes to 63,988. Okay, and so I believe... Yeah, so that lock is for dying then. And you need to complete the role quest and be able to unlock it. And yeah, so this is the gear that the Warrior of Light was wearing in the trailer. And that is a really nice looking sword there. Alright, so I need to pick up the next quest. Actually, I'm just curious, has anybody put anything better for things up here? Because I need to actually get a couple of upgrades at this point for my rings. It doesn't look like any of them have shown up. So, this will be interesting going into the endgame with subpar gear here. Let's see. Is there some other way we could do this? Alright, so that's old. Alright, let's talk to Tataru. Let's continue on with the MSQ. I'm curious if we're going to find anything wherever the final battle is going to take place, where maybe I can get an upgrade, but I guess we'll have to see. I realize you've still got lots to do before you depart, so I won't keep you any longer. I do hope you can find a moment for yourself, and that the others can as well. They said they were returning to the Valdesian Annex, though I doubt they stayed for long. If you decide to go looking for them, I suggest speaking with Kryle first. I'm sure they would have told her their plan. Oh, what's this? A locked box? Huh. Weird. I'm curious if now maybe I have unlocked the, no. I still don't have the hunt unlocked. Okay. Alright. Kryl? You're back. I take it you received your gift from Tataru? It was a surprise long in the making, with many, many long hours of fretting to get everything just right. I'm glad to see it realized, and with great success. If you're looking for the others, though they've already taken their leave. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Urianger have gone to the last stand for a bite to eat. Alice and Grahatia, meanwhile, thought their time would be better spent poring over books at Numenon. As for Alphino and Estinian, well, they've elected to pay a visit to the Levier estate, though Estinian seems somewhat reluctant to go. I'm sure they would all be glad for your company if you have a mind to seek them out. Should you be feeling peckish, I suggest heading to the last stand before Y'shtola and the others finish eating. But above all else, it'd be foolish to run headlong into a battle, a fatigue mess, so do remember to get a good night's sleep. Alright, let us speak to Thancred first. And indeed, they are over there getting a bite to eat. There they are. Prince, come to make our trio a quartet, have you? Please, have a seat. We're about to... we'll see about getting you a drink.
Your business with Tataru was finished.
She gave me these new clothes.
My, what a thoughtful surprise. Whatever would we do without her?
Indeed. And she's right, you know. It hasn't been all doom and gloom.
Feels like a lifetime ago that Master Louis Soir gathered us together to form the Circle of Knowing. Since then, we have experienced much. But rather than feeling wiser, the more I learn, the more I find my knowledge lacking.
Forsooth. As a student, vainly did I believe that I held the secrets of creation in my grasp. Yet that which I had seized was but an insignificant sliver of what awaited in the wider world. Every encounter, every experience hath served to open mine eyes, enlightening and humbling me in equal measure. Even from those whom I called enemies have I learned many a valuable lesson.
What will we learn at the edge of the universe, I wonder?
Ultima Thule, where the bringer of the end makes her nest. I, for one, can't possibly imagine. But whatever awaits us there, we will survive. We must. For her.
Oh crap, we haven't told Vreen that Hydaelyn's gone yet. Just make sure you bring enough ammunition.
Oh, Ye of little faith. I know better than to leave home without ample supplies, thank you very much. Didn't pick up the gunblade yesterday.
Just keep in mind we might not be able to resupply for a while.
And to think I used to prefer fighting from the shadows. Gods, I really have changed.
We've come far together, and if we have aught to say about it, we'll go further still. Aye, we will avert this calamity and return home. In preparation for which, we must give thought to what we hope to achieve after the proverbial dust has settled.
What with the primals and Ascians all but dealt with, I suppose we'll need to look for new hobbies. In all seriousness, though, in uniting to overcome a common foe, the disparate peoples of the world have found a way forward together. It's a truly gratifying sight to see.
Brooks, I just got an upgrade from Tutaru. The only thing that's really missing at this point is new accessories, which I'm just gonna have to figure that out as I go here.
Indeed. Though it was many years in the making, we have successfully set in motion the gears of fundamental change. With this, we have fulfilled our humble role as a symbol of hope. And I dare say it is time to bow out.
Oh, so the Scions might be splitting up after this.
After all, there is no shortage of hands to bear the torch in our stead.
You know, I never really considered I might live long enough to see an after. But even if my time as a scion came to an end, I don't expect that much will change. Traveling the world, going wherever the wind blows, lending a hand to those in need.
Or maybe I could just simply employ all of you.
A journey for journey's sake. It doth suit thee well. I must confess I too have yearned to see more of the world. If thou art amenable to the suggestion, I would accompany thee. Mine ability to effect an air of normalcy through artful disguise is much improved, thou must concede.
Aye, well, improvement is relative. You still look suspicious no matter what you wear. What of you, Ishtola? Any grand plans?
Why, continue my quest for knowledge, naturally. To begin with, I wish to know the state of the reflections, to which end I must find a means to travel between worlds. 'Tis the least I must do if I am to keep my promise.
The one to Runar.
Should my pursuits prove unduly arduous, I won't hesitate to call on you. And in return, I will take you to see Reen one day. I'm sure you cannot wait to see the fine young woman she has become.
Spare me.
And what of thee? What wouldst thou pursue at duty's end?
Here's yours. My apologies for the wait.
Well, shall we make a toast? To victory.
To our comrades.
To the future of the star.
To those we've lost and still may live. And as much as I hate to say it, the question becomes here. How many of them are going to make it out of this? Shola, leaving so soon? I suppose it's for the best. If you'd rather not explore the bottom of the bottle with Urianger, I dare say the others would welcome your company as well, if you can find them, that is. In any case, as long as you make the most of your time, then that is all that matters. Alright, so we need to find Alice and Alphino. Let's head for the studium. Ah, Puddingway! Ah, Prince, I have come to this studium in order to study the ways of pudding. Alas, my creations don't jiggle as they should just yet, but I persevere. You try speaking with Alice, but she is fast asleep. On my way out.
Oh.
Knowing them, they're probably dreaming about the celestial adventures to come. Just as well. They've been running themselves ragged of late. Unlike you and the others, I'm a few steps removed from the danger and excitement. The things you all get up to never fail to impress me. But by the same token, I can't help but worry. Not only for your safety, but for your happiness. After everything you've sacrificed, you earned it 1,000 times over. From the simple pleasures of tucking into a hearty meal or collapsing into a comfortable bed, to the grand triumphs of visiting legendary lands or finding true love. You deserve all the joy in the world. There is so much that life has to offer, so much to be treasured and shared with those we hold dear. So promise me this. Come what may, you won't give up on your own happiness. When you're out there fighting tooth and nail, it's all too easy to forget. But in the end, your passions will be your greatest strength of all. Remember that.
This feels familiar.
Wakey, wakey.
Well, 'tis good to be... wait. What am I... Gods, don't tell me I fell asleep.
Not that there's any shame in it, but you were sleeping like babies.
Oh, how How embarrassing.
Not a word to anyone. Understood? Not one word.
Okay.
I'm told that sleeping in proper beds of your own choosing is a much more effective way to prepare for battle.
So, what were the two of you doing here?
I had a few books to return to the library. Thought I'd take care of it while I could.
And you?
Just enjoying a little peace and quiet. Alright, let us find Alphino. He's all the way on the other side of town, it looks like. Alright, Rooks, this is for you. Oh, get a little closer. There you go. Alright, Alphino.
Oh. What brings you here? Ah, so you were worried that the Levier household might again be gripped by turmoil. All is well, I assure you. In my letters home, I had made mention of Estinian, you see. My mother wished to meet the legend in person, and so we arranged to have a spot of tea together.
Estinian without his armor on, it's a rare sight.
Where were you in my hour of need? Fell beasts I can face, but I'm not made for idle chit-chat with lords and ladies.
Well, I for one thought you held your own. Mother was the picture of delight.
I might have been delighted myself, were we in a tavern with more agreeable drink. The thought of fleeing crossed my mind, but what then? I'd never hear the end of it, least of all from Tataru.
I'm sorry. 'Twas not my intent to cause you such distress. It's just... it was one of the things I didn't want to leave undone ere we set forth. That's not to say I think we won't be returning. Yet, given what lies ahead, I did not wish to leave for later that which I could do today. After all, tomorrow is never promised.
It's fine. Not like I had better things to do. Besides, seeing you with your mother brought back fond memories of my own. Be we rich or poor, family is family.
Well said.
Well, it's past time we were on our way.
Wait! Since I left home, I've made a great many mistakes. mistakes for which I can never make amends. But through it all, you didn't give up on me. To have returned here with you at my side, it means more to me than you know. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart. Forgive me, but it needed to be said.
I'm the one who owes you thanks. Were it not for you, I would not be alive today, nor come to terms with Nidhogg's spirit. I am ever grateful.
I suppose I ought to thank you both as well.
Well, we needn't make it a competition. You know, this must be what Hydaelyn meant when she spoke about depending on one another. However treacherous the road before us, together we will prevail.
Alright, let us return back to the annex. And I guess we're headed to bed once again. Welcome back, Prince. Return to catch a final few winks before embarking on your mission, I presume? You'll be happy to know your chambers have been cleaned and fresh linens laid out. I pray you enjoy the sweetest dreams on this final night before the big day. That night at the Royal Menagerie in Alamigo. Xenos.
You will never get what you want. Not even the battle you pine for so dearly. In that transcendent moment, what was it that I sought in you? And what was it that you sought in me?
And thus it dawns. The day of reckoning.
How often have we thus assembled? To combine our knowledge and seek solutions to the problems before us.
Back at the Waking Sands, it was all we could do to address the most minor of troubles. Who could have realized what we'd find when we began to look to the sources of the realm's woes?
At the Rising Stones, we made great strides and shared many moments, from the joyous to the sorrowful.
We've had occasion to call other places home too. Be it Ishgard or Kugane, we were fortunate to find sanctuary wherein we might take stock and continue our fight.
I was honored to host this company in the Crystarium, to stand with you all as we confronted the truth of the star itself.
And now from this place, we go to fight the most important battle of all.
The Forum has sent word. The Ark is ready. The Loporrits naturally will be commanding the vessel. They will see the 8 of you to Ultima Thule. Upon arriving, your objective is to find and vanquish Meteion. As a final formality, the Forum bade me ascertain your resolve. So, are you certain you wish to do this?
We are.
Then, ere you report to Thalmasane, I leave you with these words. You must triumph. What that means will differ for each of you. To make it back home, or to simply avert doom, or perhaps something else altogether. Yet whatever it is that drives you, I have faith in its power to see you through. So please, triumph. Triumph, as we who remain behind believe you will.
Let us be off then.
Wait! Both Kryl and I will be there to see you off, but as your receptionist, I feel I need to say this here. Safe journey, all of you, and be safe.
You too, Tataru. All right. I suppose this is where we part ways, for now at least. Would that I had sage words of wisdom to share ere you depart. Mayhap the teachings of Galuf Baldessian will suffice. Surrender not to anger or hatred, he said. Look beyond them, and there find true strength. What one sees beyond is open to interpretation, I think, but for me, it would be the things I cherish most in life. Things I believe are worth fighting for. Something to consider as you venture unto the Sea of Stars. Alrighty, let us head down to Aporia. The music is back. Down we go. Alpha.
All present and accounted for? Good. As you will have heard, the Ark is ready. All that remains is to board and be on your way.
I've seen my fair share of tight schedules, but this was bloody murder. But we did it. We finished the ship. It's safe, fit for purpose, and looks good to boot. Aye, it's a Garland through and through.
I really don't know what we'd do without you. Thank you for everything.
Ah, don't mention it. Ever since that episode with Omega, I've been toying with the idea of starfaring vessels. And as they say, necessity is the mother of invention. We've learned a lot, let me tell you. In case you're wondering about payment, the ongoing existence of the world ought to do. But feel free to throw in a colorful recounting of your journey on your return. So, have you thought of a name?
A name? Wasn't everyone just calling it Father's teeny tiny toy boat?
Well, seeing as its purpose has changed, I thought a more eloquent name was in order. I suggested as much to Fortuno, who seemed quite amenable to the idea.
As you know, this vessel is the culmination of heretofore unprecedented collaboration. And though said collaboration is owed to the Scions, there is another whose noble deeds made our work possible. From a fragment of Dalamud, we obtained not only advanced materials such as refined adamantite, but the knowledge to traverse the stars. And this fragment would not have found its way to us had the Archon Louisoix not fought to protect this world, and in so doing, laid down his life. Now that the vessel stands complete, I cannot help but wonder if it was more than mere happenstance. If it was my father's intention to guide us here. In the hopes that his guidance will see you all safely home, I name the vessel after that self-same fragment of Dalamud he delivered unto us. The starship Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. Good name.
Sorry for the wait. I got everyone you asked for, and not a one less.
What are you all doing here?
Oh, I invited them. The representatives of those tribes with religious inclinations. You've done a fine job of readying the Ragnarok, but for it to take flight, we'll of course need the power of the Mother Crystal. Given its immense size, however, transporting it would be an absolute logistical nightmare, not to mention we'd need to shatter it into tiny shards for feeding to the engines. But a brilliant idea came to me. We convert the crystal's energy into forms that can transport themselves!
Thou wouldst employ summoning, or should I say its precursor, creation magics.
Care to explain for our benefit?
As you may have witnessed at Bestway's Burrow, the Loporrits are capable of creation magics, which they use to shape the moon's environment. Yet simple though they make it seem, 'tis a highly advanced and exacting art. To perform it correctly requireth that the wielder holdeth the object in his mind's eye in clearest detail.
Hence the ancients' meticulous management of concepts.
Drawing upon this art, the Ascians conceived of summoning as we know it. A derivative that replaceth the complexity of concepts with the simplicity of zealotry to make manifest a creation.
I see. By combining the Loporrits' magics and the tribe's faith, we convert the Mother Crystal into primals of purer form and greater obedience. Summoning as it was intended, one might say.
Indeed! Indeed!
A pretty interesting idea for certain.
While Hydaelyn gave us the ability to use creation magics, she forbade us from using it to make anything possessed of a soul, or similar. She didn't say anything about fulfilling the desires of others, though. So, borrowing our friend's faith, we'll create deities using the Mother Crystal's power and send them to the Ragnarok!
Am I the only one here concerned about the risk of being turned into a tempered minion?
Everybody got their scales on them?
Oh, right, I was getting to that. From what I've read in Sharlayan tomes, it appears the Ascians incorporated an additional nasty element into their summoning method. The fervent desire to assimilate others into one's belief. Beings thus created are instilled with the self-same desire and use their powers to enthrall people, starting with the summoner. In contrast, our creation magics, the original and the best, except no substitutes, don't incorporate any of that rubbish, so there's no risk of tempering. I mean, if the being was on the scale of Zodiac, you might feel a little tug, but I think we'll be safe enough.
Truth be told, I do not understand the intricacies of this plan. but none of us would ever turn our backs on you. When the avatars of our faith ran amok, you intervened without decrying we who birthed them. Where others vilified and suppressed us, you offered understanding and friendship. In gratitude, we will share with you the true expressions of our gods. Not malevolent deities, but benevolent saviors.
Alright, you lot, we're heading to the ethereal sea. Stay in sight, else you're liable to get lost.
Lead the way.
May we have a moment? In anticipation of the day man might journey to the stars, we developed these.
Portable teleportation devices. One for each of you, designed to work in tandem. Press the button on one, and in a matter of moments, all 8 will activate and send their owners back to the Ragnarok.
Ah, an emergency escape button. Nice. Definitely gonna be useful.
There is no telling what hazards you may encounter. If you find yourself separated or lost, please do not hesitate to use them. Be safe, all of you, and come back.
You as well. I pray you take care.
Looks like everything is in order, so I'll go ahead and board. A few of my fellows will remain to assist with the summonings, but rest assured, the vessel won't want for competent crewing.
If you are ready, then you should board as well. Go, and Godspeed.
Alrighty. Let us get this underway. If you would come this way, I will direct you to the bridge. Upon boarding the Ragnarok, several scenes will play in sequence. We have plenty of time set aside.
I hope you have everything, because I can't be bothered turning back. Right then, make yourselves comfortable. We're setting off in just a moment.
It's incredible.
This is Forshano. Can you hear me? The preparations for the summonings are complete. In accordance with the 14th phase of the plan, we have moved the Ragnarok to the launch site. The gates are open. You may depart when ready.
as ready as we'll ever be. Let's get going.
Oh, come on. The burnt-out star's got more fire in its belly. Try it again, with feeling.
Launch!
Engage!
Engage!
Into the sky. I cannot imagine a greater indignity.
Do not sulk so. For thy mighty winds exist not only to buffet and batter. Nay, they may serve also to thrust forth with vigor. Such is thy glory, and thus it is an occasion to rejoice. So come, let us revel!
So long as the wind blows freely, I suppose all is as it should be in creation. I will render unto them a storm, that they may pierce the firmament and fly free!
Still in one piece? Good. Bingway? Report?
All's well. Fantastic, even. Thanks to the power of those primals, the engines are roaring and we're ripping along.
All values are also within projected ranges. Time to destination is 8 carats. Perhaps 7 at a pinch.
How long is a carrot in seconds?
Alright, let's go over some points of caution. Our destination, as you know, is Ultima Thule. Lest you wonder, the place is not a star so much as a patch of emptiness. That's the extent of what our equipment could determine, anyway. From what we know of Meteion, she's likely used dynamis to obfuscate her location.
So, in conclusion, we'll only know what's there when we get there.
The crew and I will see to it the ship's ready to take off at a moment's notice. We'll support the search as best we can, but it'll be your paws on the ground, assuming there is any. But everything will be fine, I'm sure. Hydaelyn believes in you, so you ought to believe in yourselves.
Come to think of it, in that scene with the with all the primals there, did anybody happen to see oh, what's his name? The one that's with Gilgamesh all the time, Enkidu. Anybody happen to see him in there, in the crowd?
Just don't do anything I wouldn't. Like waiting too long to use those portable teleporters of yours. Personally, at the slightest sign of trouble, I'd mash the button to bits. And you should as well.
Understood. We promise to be careful.
I suggest you brace yourselves. We're about to arrive and the vessel will shake a good bit.
Well, that was fast.
What is this? Something is interfering with the equipment.
Greetings. Greetings. Can you hear me?
Probably just a projection. Meteion.
So this is Meteion.
Oh. Have you met one of my sisters? I don't remember meeting you myself. But I do know that you're from Aetheris. Why have you come? All you had to do was wait. I would have delivered to you your ends.
We didn't ask for that.
I don't understand. All life is destined to end. Why choose to prolong your suffering? Effort, ambition, love, they amount to naught. Happiness, should you find it, is inevitably lost. Stolen away by events beyond your control. There is no logic nor meaning in it. You think there is. Convince yourselves. But it's all a cruel accident. Come now. I speak the truth. A truth you would recognize if you looked up at the night sky. Unbroken emptiness. Cold, dark, and silent. Your world, like every other, is but a blemish upon its perfect fabric. Life is an anomaly. It is unnatural and cannot continue. The sooner you accept this, the easier it will be.
Just to be clear, we're not here to argue with you. We know that life is fleeting, and that in the short time we have it, we're not assured happiness.
Indeed. I've seen far more sorrow in the eyes of many I've met. I myself have plenty of regrets. And one day they'll die with me. Gone to dust with my good deeds and unfulfilled dreams.
But we accept this. That our existence may seem pointless. That sorrow, rage, and despair will always dog our heels. And we press on regardless. That is why Hydaelyn guided us here. In her boundless love for mankind, she has prepared us for this trial, and in her name, we have come for you.
Yes, I sense it. A burning passion like unto fury. I know it well. For the same passion once burned in many a star before yours. Suffocated and extinguished now.
I can't breathe.
You approach the bounds of my ultimatum, where emotions dictate reality, where resignation and acceptance unite to embrace the end, where those who yet valiantly cling to life cannot thrive.
Get her, Thancred. And in so attacking,
By the fury.
has he perhaps disappeared now?
Thancred?
Meteion has gone as well. Mayhap he awakened first and gave chase.
Well, I would recommend not splitting up like that if that be the case. Perhaps push the escape button. Let's bring him back here so we're all grouped together.
Everyone? It appears we are at our destination. This is Ultima Thule.
Not that we knew what to expect, but I wasn't expecting this. From atmospheric composition to ambient temperatures, all reading to within permissible range. This place is capable of supporting life.
If that's the case, then Thancred may well have gone on ahead. Let's go and have a look. Meanwhile, I want the rest of of you to perform a full inspection of the ship as well as a biological scan.
So it was that the brave wayfarers arrived at last at Dream's End. In following their path walked and history written, I am made keenly aware of one truth. Though the curtains may fall again and again, so long as others take the stage, ever shall there be more tales to tell. So, let them bring it to a close, I say. Let the curtains fall upon this, the final chapter in the tale of the star.
Is this a dead star?
It's just a faraway echo at this point, but I was wondering when this track was going to finally kick in.
As I live and breathe, I live and breathe. Well, the environment itself shouldn't kill us.
Well then, let us search for Thancred while exploring the area. The ship we leave in your care.
Alright, so, with that, we have made our way to basically the final battle here, as it would seem. With this, I need to take a little bit of a longer break here, but I do expect to be back within about 20 to 30 minutes, at which point we are actually going to start exploring this place and see if we can find Thancred as well as Meteion. So, stand by everyone, I will be back as soon as I can.